All right, good afternoon once again, everyone, to another episode of Red Pill News. As always, my name is Zak Payne, the corruption detector, and joining me, my very good friend, Patty Greer from C60 Evo. Patty, as always, you look radiant. It's so good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm
Excellent.
very, very well, and I did a month of detoxing because I was severely nailed for weeks, which doesn't happen to me. I got I call it the climate change flu, and I knew a few days before that I saw really nasty climate change clouds, and they were also with the waves from HARP.
Yep.
So they were mondo monsters, and I thought, man, those are some strange moments up there in the sky. So I started taking photos because I've got a habit of it. And then 2 days later, I got sick. All my neighbors are sick. Everybody I talked to around the country has been sick over the last month, off and on. Have you been, or your family?
No, so I am a huge sky watcher. I'm always looking for chemtrails and contrails, because obviously there's a big difference. I get a lot of people in the audience who will send me pictures and they're like, look, they're spraying over my house. And I'm like, okay, like make sure you know what you're talking about, because I don't want people to be scared, obviously. And I want people to be documenting the right stuff when they see it. So we actually have a law down here in Florida. Like there are no private agencies or companies or even governments that are allowed to spray in the skies for the purposes of climate change or anything at all. And the only way that a plane that has the capability to do that can land in the state of Florida is if it's a government plane and it has some national security implications. So like when you actually land at any airport here in Florida, the air traffic controller has a responsibility to call out to the pilot, make sure that they don't have any of that type of equipment on their plane. And if they do, they make them turn around. So I don't see any of that stuff down here in Florida. And just for anybody out there in the audience who does look for this stuff, the difference is obviously if it's an artificial spray that you're going to see in the sky, it's going to persist and it won't naturally dissipate. It may spread out, but even as it spreads out, it's still going to persist up there in the sky. Whereas a contrail, just a natural jet trail that's going to be coming from exhaust, as the plane moves away, you will see that trail disappear within a reasonable distance behind the plane. So if you see something like that, you don't need to worry about it. It's just the normal stuff. And, another thing that I've thought about, Patty, is that just because we don't allow spraying here in Florida doesn't mean that the other states around us don't allow spraying themselves. And I live on the Atlantic side, so any other states that might allow spraying, like, Georgia or Louisiana, Mississippi, any of those states, if it was to, come into our airspace, I think that probably by the time that it does, you're going to have like crosswinds coming in off of the Atlantic and maybe blowing it back that way. So I've been really lucky since we moved down here to Florida, and I haven't seen that. But I have a good friend in Michigan that I still talk to on a regular basis. He's also a sky watcher, and in the last month, he's actually sent me a ton of pictures showing me that there are many, many trails that are persisting in the sky.
Well, I sadly live in Colorado, and we are run by Skankenheimers. They're just hideous individuals who actually our governor just joined the WHO, the WHO. America's done with that. But Governor Polis decided that he alone wants to be a part of, Satan in the den.
Yep.
So he is initiating a variety of things that nobody in the state wants, but because daddy, gave him all this gold or this money from his card company, he's got ample funds to continue being the governor. Like, why are we letting people with money rule and ruin? It's a hideous thing that I'm living in, and I'm soon to move. What we have is 20 people that are just hideous individuals running things. And if we could just move those 20 somewhere comfortable, like Gitmo or Venezuela,
there you go.
Then hundreds of thousands of us won't need to move because of their sickening behavior, but we are getting dosed on a regular basis. And the particular days that I was shooting pictures, the very next day, I got something that I have never had in my life from sitting out on my deck doing my morning sunning and what I do, my breathing. I got a split in my lip that lasted for weeks,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
a major split. I had to cancel a dentist appointment because I mean, smiling hurt.
Yeah.
And I got so sick in my lungs, but because I don't get sick hardly ever, it's been 6, 7 years. I, of course, pounded what I live on, but really multiplied the C60 Evo because it's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. Peer reviewed is only 125 times, but I'll settle for over 100% stronger than vitamin C. And I was needing to add all these things because I stayed sick and I'm not willing to do the dark pharma drugs, the
Sure.
antibiotics, because then you got to deal with your gut next and all that. But I also wanted to see what they were delivering because we know it's aluminum, barium, strontium,
Yep.
all these terrible things, but because they're free to put in what they want since there's no apparent rules and regulations, they're adding viruses. We know that Gates thought that there was just too many people. Why don't we remove him to start? But anyway, he was dropping infertility stuff in the fuel mixture along with the poisons.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that somebody like that, if he really is still alive, which just amazes me that he could be, because he's so hated for so many heinous crimes against humanity. But apparently, he's come up with all these new things in the grocery store that are poisoning our organic fruit.
Yep.
So what? Now we're supposed to soak all of our fruit for 5 minutes in baking soda or white vinegar. I mean, it's just like we have to do so much just to balance out the demon scum actions.
Yep.
And I don't live in a great state. I live in a state, unfortunately, that's really big on Monsanto. They love Monsanto. And because I live in the hip and trendy garbage dump of Boulder, Colorado, I'm sorry. I used to love it here, and I've been here 50 years. I used to love it, but then we got taken over, infiltrated, and it has become so much dirty money. But not only is the Boulder County Parks and Open Space working closely with Monsanto, daddy, son, oh my God, it's family. So we've been sprayed, and now they got a new name for Roundup. It's Rejuvra. Yes,
Really?
you're being sprayed by Rejuvra, and we filmed the friggin' helicopters. They're lucky that somebody didn't just pop them
Wow.
because a lot of people were angry. And I'm trying to stay soft, but I saw them flying and spitting all this stuff, and it was just right across the valley, so you know it's spraying over everyone,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's backyard, their dogs, their cats, their wildlife, their gardens. The organic farms just a little east, the wind blows. So they're dumping here. We finally fought them and we got them to stop the helicopter spraying with a lot of money. An organization, Save Our St. Vrain Valley, she devoted tons of time and legal bills, devotion to getting rid of it. And we did, yay! And then they came back with drones. We didn't say drones, we said helicopters. It's like you're dealing with worms,
Yep.
maggots coming out of Bill Gates because he's probably lying somewhere being chewed on by the crows and ravens. It's so bad what they've gotten away with, but not only are we being sprayed like termites, we also created cloud seeding,
Yep.
which is chemtrails from the ground up, spewing all kinds of crap. And I've seen the machines, they are everywhere. And the roads are terrible in Colorado, just potholes. And I got a nice car, gajunk. You know, if you're not watching, you're going to hit a pothole. But they're not spending money to fix the potholes. They're spending money to do surveillance cameras, red light cameras.
Oh, yeah.
They are giving so many tickets and doing so much surveillance that Florida sounds kind of nice.
You know what's interesting is that we recently got a ton of those red light cameras down here in Florida as well, but somebody is actually fighting against it. So the way that the Florida law is written for tickets for driving infractions, It has to be a person who actually recognizes that a law has been broken. Because, in the U.S. judicial system, theoretically, you are innocent until proven guilty. But the problem with these red light cameras, and this may be applicable in Colorado, somebody might want to go ahead and use this ruling that we got down here in Florida to fight it. But when you get a red light ticket, it's assuming that the owner of the vehicle, based upon registration, was the person who was driving the vehicle. And so therefore, the ticket goes in their name. Now, it's interesting because when you get one of those red light tickets down here in Florida, it's a $150 fine. And if you pay it, there's no points on your license. And so pretty much the legislature figured most people are just going to pay it because they're not going to want to deal with the problem, whether they were the one who were driving or not. If it's your kid, maybe you have your kid that's going to go ahead and pay for the ticket. But this guy, he got a red light ticket and he said, I didn't actually run this red light. It was, green or yellow or whatever it was when I went underneath it. Or maybe, he claimed that he wasn't driving the car. Not exactly certain. But the point is, he fought it and the judge was like, you know what? You got a point. I mean, they are assuming that you are guilty. And if you fight it, well, then if you have to have somebody who can come in and say that, they actually did see this person driving the car, but the cameras don't get a picture of you, so they can't do that. So the guy won the case. And now it's probably going to lead to either changes in the law or perhaps the removal of these red light cameras. And, that I think that's a good thing, obviously. We don't need more surveillance. Do you know if they have the flock cameras in Colorado? Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're flocked up.
Yeah, because those are super bad, too, for just like generally in terms of the amount of surveillance that a community is going to be under as a result of those flock cameras. But they're also horribly insecure. Like I've seen quite a few white hat hackers who have shown that there's a multitude of ways that anybody can use the internet. They don't even have to go out to a camera directly, although you can. But you can just, if you can figure out what the IP address is for these cameras, you can log in remotely, and then you can use them essentially to spy on private citizens. And then you can also go back and get all of the video and pictures that these cameras have taken prior to the point at which you hacked in. They're horribly insecure.
Well, don't fix the potholes and don't fix the schools or the bridges.
No.
Just keep being the enemy of the people and getting a bunch of migrants here to vote for you and staying a sanctuary city so that you can continue to shoot people in the arm with the experimental foolishness and keep people real dumbed down.
Yep.
I want to be a good sport, and my family says, could you please be positive? When they take me for a drive and I'm in the front seat, I put down the visor. I don't want to see more than this because it's bad here. You'll see in the next few photos that I pull up with this presentation. But I created a presentation because people need to know that you're not a sickly person. You are a perfect specimen. We are in a war, and people are like the war in Iran and the war, and everybody's all frazzled about that, other than Hillary frazzled, dripped. But what we are is in a real war against our mind, our body, and our spirit. And the one thing that I do, and I want to take a shot of this before we go any further, C60 Evo organic olive oil. The olive oil's from Tunisia. The ESS60 is what's the evolution, the C60 Evo. We are the only lab in the world making safe carbon-60 fullerenes for people and pets. And what we're seeing is people kind of pretending to be us, where we have 90% life extension. I'm sorry, that was our product from our lab,
Yep.
but people are claiming it, which it's not. Most everybody online is selling industrial grade C60 from China. They know it, but their customers don't because they pretend it's the same as ours. Let's say cheers to the goodness of the world and take a shot because I want to be sharp as a tack.
Cheers.
That's real olive oil. So why do we take this at the start of the show? It gives you mental focus. It gives you energy. And you'll probably see us start to talk a little quicker, think a little faster within 15 minutes of a spoonful. But I take it preventatively so that I don't get sick. And this thing caught me off guard. And when I talked to my neighbor yesterday who helped me um, haul my 3 trash cans out filled with what fell from my trees, we had warnings for days that at 2 o'clock on Wednesday there's going to be extreme wind at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. That's in 5 days. Fire risk. Ah, fire risk.
Yeah.
Ah, for 6 days, 5 days, 4 days. Fire risk. It's going to start at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. I'm like, okay. So Wednesday morning, I'm sitting at my window, kind of watching, no breeze. And all of a sudden it went from 0 to 60. Like, and everything tipped over. Everything blew down. Crash, boom. I saw stuff flying in the neighborhood. And then I heard crash, boom on the side of my house. The trees that went down were phenomenal. And the fact that maybe they turned on a weather machine or a wind machine,
Hmm.
whoop, 0 to 60. I mean, it was ridiculous how blatant, but only if you're watching.
Yeah.
And frankly, there's times when I wish I was dumbed down like the rest of them, but I didn't do that thing. I didn't do, I don't do a lot of things that people are prone to do. And today I watched a painful show about mind control, about how they've done this to us with Project Mockingbird,
Oh yeah.
but all through society. We've got the news media, all 80 of them saying the same thing at the same time. And by the time you blah, 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 and the mind control of even those guys that go on America's Got Talent. And, they said the same word 5 times, aforementioned or formula or 444. What time? Let's just guess. And of course, it was four.
Hmm.
But there's all these subliminal implants, and we better keep ahead of it by getting our brain balanced. And this product, I don't know. It sure works. Now, what do you
Agree.
think? Are you finding mental focus when you take Evo?
Oh yeah, I mean, I take Evo first thing in the morning as soon as I wake up. It's like I go in, I brush my teeth, I take the Evo, and then usually about midway through the day, right before I go to do my show. My show is at 5 o'clock, so we're talking a little bit earlier than that. But yes, I do a teaspoon in the morning and then a teaspoon in the afternoon, and that helps me get everything ready first thing, organize or write, put everything together in the order that I need to present it, and then when it's time to go ahead and get on the air, then I definitely notice a big difference, 100%.
Yay.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's the easiest remedy I've ever had, and I'm old.
yeah,
I've been around over 70 years, so to find something this easy got me through a couple of hip replacements where I just like, doctors like, how are you doing this? I take Evo. Let me give you a bottle. Ah, no, I'm a surgeon. I sell surgeries. It's like, but you're so great. Here, just take a gift. It's like, okay, I brought him a crystal cluster as a thank you because I was so grateful. But really, I'm grateful because I take a product that lubricates my joints. So even at my age, even with surgeries that were just really challenging to go through, I flew. And I love talking about my personal testimonials because I'm just watching miracles. I read all the testimonials from customers. We're not allowed to say them, especially on YouTube.
hmm
We're not allowed to say an awful lot of words that were real, are real. So hard to say what they're going to do with this presentation, but that's why you're on all these channels.
that's right.
And I did watch your little speed talk about. So we're going to do 3 minutes here, and then I'm going to encourage everybody to go to my other channels to enjoy the show because, yeah. But X took me down, suppressed me a year ago,
Hmm.
and just got back up, and then they did it again. So I think we're still in a time of sad suppression,
Yeah,
but all we can do is keep our own self centered and grounded. And the best way to do it is this really easy remedy and a spoon before noon.
super
I'm
simple.
really hard to trick these days, but I did get tricked with getting sick last month. So I want to go into that and talk about solutions, not just wah, it was awful.
Yeah.
So can I go to screen
Please
share?
bring it up. Yes.
Okay, bring it up. Deliver. All right, we're going to share this amazing moment in time, which is The war against our body, mind, and spirit. Now, it starts with the five obvious things that most people know about, which is the climate change clouds.
Hmm.
And you can see a nice one in the backdrop here that's dripping in the middle above the versus sign. They're just billowed out of the hind ends of these airplanes that look like normal planes, but they have been re engineered so that they're dumping poisons and viruses, perhaps, whatever the boys are in the mood for. And it really needs to be stopped. I'm jealous of you in Florida. But people, wildlife, nature is just getting severely damaged. And when we see the winds and the trees that are blowing over all around the country way too easily, it's because the droppings of the aluminum, barium, strontium, whatever else they're dumping, is killing the roots of the trees.
Yeah.
And the trees are these beautiful root families that go to their other trees and they communicate. And when one is sick, many get sick. So what they're doing is not just us, it's also minimizing the insects that are on our windshield when we do a drive across town or across the country. I barely have to clean my windshield anymore because Colorado has taken out most of the wildlife and the insects. And I'm a feeder, so my yard is always full of bird feeders, big water trough. And yesterday, 2 days ago, I had a bobcat in my yard for the first
Oh,
time. It
wow.
was so magical. I'd never seen one up close. And there it was in my backyard, taking its time. Magnificent creature. I was elated, but again, I miss everyone else that used to be where I live. And the next one is the smart meters. Oh, God,
Oh,
the word
yes.
smart is so oxymoronish because they are the dumbest thing. Thank you, China. Let's say it straight, calm China.
Yep.
They hate us. And Huawei, China, is where they've done all kinds of cell tower technology that they've insisted we do here through their um, maggots, BlackRock and Vanguard and Gates
Mm.
and Amazon are all invested in all of these things that are damaging every home, every life on Earth. And we just need to say, enough is enough. But the smart meters, I believe, caused a number of those fires. I do know a guy that was we don't even talk about Boulder, Colorado had a fire that burned 1,176 homes whoosh, to the ground.
Wow.
And in 15 decimated homes, of course, the trees are still standing like Lahaina,
Hmm.
like Paradise, like all the other places that appear to have blue roof houses made it, blue umbrellas made it. So that would insinuate perhaps a DEW
Hmm.
that we know now Trump is using. So it's kind of blatant that we know that those are real.
Yep.
And I knew years ago because I was tested. I was a unfortunate human subject for a demon that was upset with how successful my movies were, and I got hit from behind at the airport after a gig that I made my last. They made it clear we don't want the truth coming out in the field of UFOs, and then I got dropped to the ground at an airport. So I knew it was some kind of a directed weapon,
Hmm.
but now Trump is using them to do wars.
Yep.
And so we know what's going on. But the smart meters on the sides of the homes, there were 15 nailed and then two standing in South Boulder. And I toured because I'm that way. I just went in with a friend and acted like we lived there. And somehow we got in late in the day. But houses standing, then the rest decimated to dust. One house standing, decimated. Like what? They didn't have smart meters.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. So we saw this guy who we knew because in the beginning of the fake flu chapter that we all had to like stay home and wear plastic everything.
Hmm.
Um, he came to one of our secret meetings and he said, I filmed the people in hazmat suits the day after the Boulder fire, and they were removing all those round metal things that were the meters on the sides of these scalded homes. So they left in big hazmat bags All the evidence of the meters, gone.
Wow.
And he filmed it. So, yeah. And then we got the cell towers, which 29 of them went up in the canyon of going out of Boulder into Rocky Mountain National Park. Now the canyon is terrible. And the sounds in my home between the smart meters and the cell towers, I'm about to put my house up for sale because I can hear it now. I can't stand what they've done to Boulder, Colorado and the surrounding areas. And it's China.
Yep.
It's Huawei China hating on us and our governor and senators having no control whatsoever or having a lot of control and a lot of free money and cars and diamonds and jewels. I don't know. I
Yeah.
wasn't there when the trade went on, but I know that the industry here is against the people and we lost everything. Like the helicopters, no more. So they bring drones. I mean, you got to be an idiot to let that happen to your state. But we're run by idiots. So I give up. Cell towers, I've got one about, I don't know, quarter mile away because we lost the fight. And I'm out of here. It's really a drag because if we could just get rid of those 20 people running things into the ground and everything that Com China has delivered so that they can delete the population.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to get rid of that instead of all of us, but we haven't fixed it yet. The fluoride in the water is another crown jewel of the dark ones.
Oh, yes.
Whose idea? You know, when I go to a dentist, I just first ask, do you serve fluoride treatments? And if they do, I call on the phone. I won't be coming to you. You're too old school. Like you just got to know to ask the right questions. Glyphosate in the foods. Now, I shop at Whole Foods, I'm embarrassed to say, because they deliver. And when I had my hips replaced 2 years ago, I got kind of spoiled by the delivery. But what's interesting is I'm still letting it happen like every few days. They don't speak a word of English.
Mm.
None of them. None of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times my food is warm and thawed because it sat in the car while who knows what they were doing.
Right.
But they don't speak English at all. So very interesting. And the food. Okay, so my grandkids absolutely love these crackers. Organic, buttery, round crackers, just so delicious. And I saw a video that talked about organic, gluten-free, all these things don't matter because the glyphosate count in this particular box, 474, whatever the measurement is, like one of the worst things you can buy. We went through boxes of it, so I just tossed 5 boxes in the trash, and I keep that one around to do shows and throw on the floor because I'm so pissed. My great bread, thin slice, all these seeds and nuts and all the glyphosate. They don't make them put it on the label.
Yep.
Absolute trash. Trash, give you a stomach ache, wreck your gut. And then today, the crown jewel, my eggs. My eggs, Vital Farm. I thought, okay, well, I've done the research. Nope. Guess who bought them 2 years ago?
Yep. Major corporation.
Vanguard.
That one was tough for me too, Patty, because I used to get Vital Farms as well, and I started. I maybe I saw the same presentation you did, but you know what? I watched this woman who is she is a straight carnivore diet, and so like she's eating like pounds of meat and eggs and just like these animal products all day long. She's in great shape. Like I mean, I can't believe she had all these problems before, like persistent cystic acne and just all of these things that she was allergic to, and so she switched over to all organic and like heritage raised stuff. And she used to also eat the Vital Farms eggs. And when they purchased them, they started playing with the definition of free range. I guess that you can still call the chickens free range if you have them in a barn that is able to move. Like they move the barn itself with the chickens inside so they don't see the sun. And they call them organic because they're feeding them corn or soy. But that corn and soy is still going to be produced with glyphosate. And but of course, the chickens themselves aren't specifically eating glyphosate. They're just eating something that was produced with glyphosate. And so in order to make the eggs appear as if they are heritage raised and they're the kind you're expecting, they actually feed the chickens some kind of food coloring. It's like, I think that it might actually be like turmeric or something like that, because that will make the egg yolks more orange than they would be otherwise. And so I just didn't even think about it. I could say that the eggs did not taste like farm fresh heritage raised eggs that I had purchased many different occasions in the past, but I was like, well, maybe it's because I'm just getting them from the store and they're not as fresh and they have sat on the counter for a little while. But no, it's because they're totally fake. They're not what they're saying at all. So I think it's called Happy Eggs Company or something like that. And they are most certainly heritage and farm fresh. Like the taste is so different in the yolk. The color of the yolk is so different. But I went through probably a list of like 10 different egg companies trying to find one that was what they said it was. And these Happy Eggs were the only ones that I found that were, where I can buy them.
Well, I think these people need to go to Gitmo on a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
And I'll chip in on that because I've had it. I've had being lied to. My family has picked up and left the state.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of them. They left last week, and it really choked me up because I've got the cat, the plants, their stuff downstairs, floor to ceiling, plastic buckets, and they're just touring with the kids and the dogs. And I'm babysitting this Boulder area. And I'm so surrounded by people that are dumbed down by the thing in the arm, just repeated thing in the arm,
Yep.
and hate for Trump. It's a very strange time right now to be wise,
Yes.
to be knowing, and to be healthy. And I'm going to hang in here because life is a beautiful thing. But when we see a sky like this,
Yeah.
we need to say to our neighbors, don't take your baby out in the stroller right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till tomorrow and see if Satan goes away.
Yeah.
I consider this how Satan communicates. Just so much hatred right here. And the hyper ray obviously is kicked in because you've got the stair steps to everywhere.
Yeah.
And not just the chemtrails, but the chemtrails are absolutely awful in Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
This was the day I got sick, and the big slice on my lip, unbelievable. I've never had that ever. And finally, I discovered tallow last week,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it cured overnight.
Yeah, tallow's awesome.
Overnight. So, this is 2 days before I got sick. This is the week before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say to people the word chemtrails, and they say, conspiracy theorists, those are contrails. Show them a picture like this where it's actually dripping.
Yeah.
And spreading and exploding. And I just, I have nothing more to say. When people are this set in their ways and they say, you're wrong, I'm right, this is okay, what are you going to do? You just let them suck it up and go running and jogging. What's really sad is all the people that are running and jogging and hiking and taking their babies for long walks. They think they're doing something so good.
Yep.
But right now, while you've got this hate mail from Satan coming down, raining down on us, and I'm sorry to be a sad sack here, but this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop. Now I just want to come to Florida because
it's beautiful down here. You'll love it.
oh, I'm so ready. Here's, that was Tuesday. This is Monday. It's the same unfortunate situation.
Yep.
Now, these are really impressive when people say, rainbows in the sky, how special. It's like when they pour an oil slick in a river.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
So it's chemicals. It's ugly, dirty, filthy chemicals that are being hit. Maybe it's the ice particles in the clouds, but it's real serious when you can see the rainbows. It's really, really toxic out there. Mm-hmm. And then for the other wonderful, brilliant people, the cottage cheese and the rainbow around the moon. Oh, look at the rainbow. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
us.
Totally normal. Can't see anything except for the haze in the sky.
Well, they see rainbows, and rainbows used to be the greatest thing. Now they represent, lack of manliness, lack of womanliness.
Yep.
And why is it happening so much in Colorado? Well, Mr. P, our governor, joined the WHO independent of the federal government. This allows him to declare flu-like style lockdowns again. Independent of the entire country. Look at the mass migration and voter fraud. None of these people are voted in. And poor Tina Peters is still
Yep.
in jail because she had the evidence, and the criminals are still out running things into the ground. There is a war going on between President Trump and the globalists that want to destroy Western civilization. Mr. P, our governor, is on the side of the globalists and couldn't care less about us. That's for sure. His
Absolutely.
best friends, Bill Gates, China, Germany, UK, Gavi, the Vax people, European Commission, more Vax people, Novo Nordisk, more Vax people, Japan, Switzerland, and Sweden. America left the WHO, but Polis, I want to go back so I can lock down my people and take away their permissions. Now, if that's not bad enough, he's not done yet, working by himself to make. Meanwhile, Governor JP signed a bill this week making Colorado a gender surgery sanctuary state
Good God.
where minors can come and the state, he and his minions, will protect them from their own parents. In other words, Colorado will refuse to return children who travel to the state or are trafficked, much bigger,
Yep.
trafficked, poor children, and says it will even ignore a court order from the state of origin.
Wow.
So he's real determined to have people come here, trafficked here by the millions, and change their complete everything,
Yep.
and let them be the new science experiment. In other words, Governor P is that a CT.
Yep.
The bill was sponsored by Colorado's first openly cross-dressing lawmaker, Representative Brianna Titwan. Brianna Titwan. And that's the yellow shirted individual. It's a man in women's
I was
clothing.
gonna say that's a strong jaw. I think that's the one.
It's got a strong lap also.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it's taped back, so probably not an issue. I live in a town where the mayor, well, I don't want to say what she's married to, but not a safe person. And the co-mayor is a man dressed in women's clothing. I went to one city council meeting to see why there's so many rainbows in the road, in front of the kids' school, in front of the church, in front of the library. Town's not that big. Why are they shoving it down the throats of all of us and the kids? Well, we got a co-mayor that is a man dressing as a woman.
Yep.
And he, she, them, they wrote a book called, Oh, It's So Hard Being a Trans Whatever. So that person is now running for mayor against a guy who's a manly man who has put out unbelievable levels of data about our environment. He's really, 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 really smart. I haven't heard the man dressed in women's clothing put out anything, but if it wins, it's one more reason to leave the state.
Yep.
But here's a solution that I came up with that I think is great. The thing in the arm should be tested on politicians first, like dozens of them.
There you go.
If they survive, the thing in the arm is safe. If they don't, then the country is safe.
I think that's a policy most people could get behind.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's sad is a lot of people that got numerous things in the arm are completely clueless, and they think that we are so wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And they feel really good about it. People I know. So all we can do is really ourself.
Yep.
We can control what it is that we put in our bodies, what it is that comes out of our mouth. And I pray every day that I'm not severely inappropriate because I'm real disgusted. But I take this product, and I've heard so many people say it gives me so much longer endurance with my kids. It helps me be at work without getting tired. But for me, it's about staying balanced because I could go postal so quickly on so many, and I'm just not going to. So, if I start to get a little wound up or feeling a little like I might get sick, I'll just pound a little extra Evo as a preventative measure. And it works. It works.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Since I moved down here to Florida, I have not been sick. Like I haven't gotten like seasonal colds, seasonal flus, anything like that. And that's actually coincided with the exact time that we started working together. It was just before I moved down here to Florida. And when I used to get sick in Michigan, I would just pound vitamin C. I would take like 1,000 milligrams at a time. And obviously because of how much more effective an antioxidant C60 Evo is, there's no need for me to do that. And I'm already taking it every single day. So regardless, I haven't had the same experience that I had up in Michigan.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, what an easy thing to do is stick it on a spoon or take a couple capsules. Yeah, I mean, we got to find solutions because the government isn't going to.
Yeah.
Our local representatives are not going to. Now, your government is another whole kind of thing of good people, apparently, because
Yes.
they're not encouraging and allowing and paying for all these terrible things. Plus, you don't have what's it called? Sanctuary stupidity.
Yes. Yes.
Like we are still protecting Saudi Aurora, and they're still saying there's no gangs. Well, I want to put you, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Senator and Mr. Governor, in a circle with all those nice gang members wrapped around you and a bunch of rocks and see how you do with that. Those nice boys with the tattooed faces and the girls with, I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm old. Maybe I just don't like men in women's dresses that are yelling at the rest of us to call them something they're not. I'm kind of wanting to move forward, beyond this mind control chapter of exposing everything that's really been awful. I believe that we are coming out of it. And that's why people like you and I know this much.
Yeah.
And a lot of influencers know this much is because it's all coming to the surface to be healed.
Yes.
Do you believe that?
Oh, I definitely agree. I definitely believe that. And, there is obviously a lot that is taking place behind the scenes, a lot of changes that are being made. What's frustrating is that a lot of what RFK Jr. has been attempting to do at HHS, such as the remaking of that vaccine advisory board, changing the ridiculous number of recommended vaccines for babies as soon as they come out of the womb. You just had a federal judge who is a Biden appointee, I believe Judge Brian Murphy. He just ruled that essentially RFK doesn't have authority over the vaccine advisory board. The vaccine advisory board essentially doesn't have authority over what vaccines go on the recommended vaccines list. And that means that the president doesn't have authority over the executive branch because he chose RFK. RFK, as the head of HHS, chooses the vaccine advisory board. The vaccine advisory board makes recommendations on what that list is supposed to be. And so Mr. Murphy, Judge Murphy, just arbitrarily decided to put a bunch of random people on this board. It's not going to stand, but it seems like every single time we attempt to rectify some mistake that was made in the past, you have a judge in some jurisdiction that believes they know better. Nobody voted for that judge, okay? I mean, we voted for President Trump. We voted for him to put RFK in that position. And we voted for sanity when it comes to medicine, making choices on your health, and the ridiculous number of jabs that they were giving kids. I mean, so many of those things like hepatitis B. Hepatitis B is a sexually transmitted disease or a disease that you're going to get from sharing needles. Babies should not be out there having any sexual contact. Of course, maybe Colorado and a couple of these other blue jurisdictions, it's different. But that should never be the case. And they're obviously not going to be out sharing needles. So there's just simply no need to load them up with all these things as soon as they come out into the world. Humanity survived for thousands of years without putting artificial things into our bodies. And one might even argue humanity thrived, and certainly thrived in a way that we don't now. I mean, fertility rates are down 50% across the board. People are getting sicker on a regular basis. People who took those jabs are getting sick. They're dying. They're getting cancer. They're coming up with all of these novel diseases that they didn't have to worry about before. And the biggest thing that we have to overcome, I think, is the fight that we're having with our own Justice Department. I mean, not the DOJ, but the judiciary itself. Those people are totally corrupt, and they're making all these decisions based on politics or hatred of whatever the decisions are that the person we elected is putting into place.
Well, I see a big sweep coming,
Yeah.
and judges should not be evil. Judges should be fair, and that's not happening in America yet.
Hmm.
But, James O'Keefe just said, you'll be surprised what's about to happen, but the sweep is happening.
Yeah.
So I think the Gitmo's filling up and then thinning down after they do a confession and leave. I pray every day that we have fewer pedophiles because you can't fix them,
Hmm.
and you know it's a very difficult situation we're in. But the one thing we can do is heal ourselves
Hmm.
as best we can. Oh, not allowed to use that four-letter word. Make ourselves feel better on a regular basis. It's so interesting that little words like that, we can't be optimistic, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
So let's go to your landing page and just share with your audience if they want to make it easy on themselves. The only reason I sell this product and that I'm partners with the lab is because the product saved my life. I have a hard time admitting that I had 3 attempts on my life. And if it wasn't for Evo, I'm sure I wouldn't be here. It's why I rep the company. I own it with the only lab in the world making the good stuff because this is why I'm still here, knocking on wood every day. I celebrate, yay, I made it another day. But this product is the easiest thing in the world. And it's two ingredients. Like you don't have to be a major scientist to understand that C60 was naturally occurring, but outer space and at the edge of volcanoes, there's not enough of it.
Mm.
So my partners 34 years ago had a bet with their college professor that if they could learn how to make C60 at the heat of the sun in an enclosed chamber, blah, 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 they would be making something more valuable than gold per ounce. And they figured it out. And we've been perfecting it ever since. But it wasn't until about 10 years ago when we evolved the cleaning process to become safe for people and pets rather than industrial, which they've sold for decades, which is for tires, ink, batteries, photocells. But when they tested it in 2012, it's called the Paris Bhakti Study, BAATI, or it's also called the Prolongation of Life Study on C60 Toxicity. They found, and they used our product, not Chinese garbage, but our product from the lab in Houston, made in America, yay. And the rats that were tested lived 90% longer than the control group. And for the first time, they died without any tumors, which was historic.
Hmm.
So those are two things that should appeal to a lot of people that want to improve their health and perhaps minimize those C cells. We can't say cure.
Hmm.
We can't say it fixes it, but to have something preventative that's showing up to really be impressive in lab studies, this is a really good move for most people that are dealing with water, air, food, everything that's happening to us in the sky. We got to fight back to protect our body, mind, and spirit. And when we try and get to the science of what is it in this, what is this doing to my body? It's literally cleaning the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of every cell. So we're detoxing the mitochondria throughout the body. Blood cells have no mitochondria, but the rest of the body has 50 to 5,000 mitochondria per cell, where the brain has 2 million. 2 million mitochondria per cell being cleaned by this. When you put it in your mouth, within an hour, you start, no brain fog.
Hmm.
Huh, better memory. I can think clearly. Because it's clearing the toxins in your mitochondria and sending it through your system. Additionally, that sweet little, what's it called? The pineal gland,
Hmm.
where we are connected with God and our higher selves. When your brain is being cleared at this level, you're going to be decalcifying the crap that's wrapped around your pineal gland as well, that sacred little pine cone in the back, which, what we want to do is just stay clear because I want to be here to see the golden era or whatever it's going to look
Yeah.
like because we're doing the heavy lifting now. We have been your shows, your friends' shows, our lab. We're really working hard to just keep bringing the truth to people. And I don't think if I wasn't taking this product, I'd still be here. I
Yeah.
mean, I really believe in the power of good things with good intention. And ESS 60 is the evolution from the industrial to the really good stuff. Can you pull up our landing
I've
page?
I've actually got it on screen for the audience right now,
Okay.
but you can't see it because of the way that I'm recording Zoom on screen right now.
Okay.
But yes, I've got it pulled up. You guys have my logo right there and all of the products. And just for everybody to know, if you want to go check out the website, which you should if you haven't done it yet, it's c60evo.com/redpill78. The link is just below the video in the description below. And then when you use that code redpill78, you guys will also get $15 off your order. And of course, they also have a whole bunch of offers on bonus packages. So you can get one, you can get multiple, or you can get several different products together. And when you purchase them in that bundle, it gives you a discount. And then you also get the discount when you use my code.
Yep. And the easiest one that we recommend, and 70% of our sales every month are resubscribes. If you subscribe, you're going to save 20% off every order, and you can cancel at any time. We don't ask questions if you do, but we find that, like I said, 70% are resubscribes almost every day, which says that's a testimonial right there. People just don't choose to quit, but they quit a lot of their other supplements that easily, four of those bottles that really don't do anything, add up to one bottle of this, which will last you a month with a teaspoon, or an 8-ounce bottle will give you a tablespoon. People that don't want to taste the oil or that travel or that want to carry it in their purse or briefcase, we make capsules out of our top selling olive oil. But people that haven't tried it yet, they say, what are your best two items? What do you recommend I start with? Guys, girls, anybody in between, doesn't matter. The top two items are the Advanced Facial Serum All Natural and the C60 Evo Olive Oil. We also have avocado oil, delicious, MCT coconut oil, fabulous in your morning coffee. And these I highly recommend, but the olive oil is almost twice as strong as the MCT. No matter what oil we've tested, the concentration levels in olive oil holds more ESS 60 than any other oil. And ours is not from Costco, like most everything online. We actually buy our olive oil from a farm in Tunisia. It is organic, cold pressed, extra virgin, pure olive oil. And when you taste it, it's got that peppery flavor. It's not your sissy olive oil. It's the real deal. So 4-ounce, 8-ounce, 16-ounce. I personally prefer the Big Daddy. I got the 32-ounce bottle. I don't want to run out. And when friends come over, grab a tablespoon. Let's hit the bottle. So hit the bottle has a whole new resonance. But gifting this facial serum, which is one of my very favorite products, it comes in this beautiful box, whoop, tipsy, that says revive, replenish, rejuvenate. And the oil is lovely. It smells like rosemary, but it's got a base of chia seed oil, which I don't think any other product does. And it's because I go to a real aromatherapist who is a formulator. She's written 20 plus books on gardening and walking into the forest. You can eat, drink, smoke, or boil the roots of just about anything in the woods to help yourself eat or make your body feel better. But she designed this with me, and it is really a treat. Like I said, men love it as much as women, but the C60 Advanced Facial Serum is a real treat. So treat yourself, try it, see if you like it, but you might actually notice an immediate difference in how you look and feel. And I'm 72, pushing the next birthday, and my skin is healing. Like I feel like I'm actually anti-aging. Plus, I'm still alive. Every day is like, I win.
It's a gift.
It is.
Absolutely. All right. Well, listen, Patty, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for obviously bringing us the information today and in a larger sense, turning me on to ESS 60. And also for hooking up the audience with that $15 off coupon. Check it out in the description below, you guys. RedPill78 is the code. C60Evo.com/RedPill78. That should automatically apply it to the order. But if for some reason it doesn't, just make sure you put it in there in the checkout when you guys do check out. And you guys have a guarantee on everything as well. So if people want to get the best deal, go ahead and sign up for the ongoing subscription. You'll get that 20% off. You can buy a bundle, get a subscription on that, hand it out to your friends and family. Everybody is going to love it. Nobody is going to be angry to get some of this stuff for free. And if for some reason it's not something that you think is helping you, then you just give them a call and they'll take care of you. But like Patty said, the majority of people that do use this continue to use it. And I'm a big fan. Lisa's a big fan. And the dogs are big fans as well.
Well, my mom is a big fan, and she's going to be 97 in May, still full brain. And when she runs low on this, I get a photo of it sitting sideways, almost empty. So her skin is as pretty as mine at 97, and her brain is on fire. So if you've got elders that you care about, that you want to stay around a little longer, gift them a bottle of Evo, and you might be surprised at what they remember from your childhood. But if you're the black sheep, you might not want them to.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, Patty, I wish you all the best. And do tell me what happens with the moving out of Colorado. Obviously, I think you're probably making the right decision. I know it sucks, especially because you've been a resident of Colorado and of Boulder for such a long time. But I think it's probably time. You want to do what's going to be best for you, especially if your family's no longer there.
Yeah, the family's moved, and I don't blame them. I'm absolutely delighted for them. The schools here are as bad as the city council.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I mean, there's teachers that dress as women some days and men some days, and the kids don't ask questions because it's not polite, Grandma. It's like, you're out of here. Yeah, enough grooming. You're out of here. And luckily, my kids just said, yeah, we're done with this. So we got to treat ourselves right. But man, when it comes to the children, how about the 500,000 children that are still missing? What we've been through, we all have to do something to make a difference moving forward. And this is what we're doing. So stay well, everyone, and keep your brain sharp.
All right. We'll see you next time. Everybody in the audience, thank you for being here. And check out the website. Link is in the description. And we will see you guys next time.
Thank you.